Hey, it's your friend CJ here, and this is my team builder video for week 5 of the PMC, season number 2. We are the Baltimore Oriolus. This week, our opponent is none other than the Verd himself, coach of the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. Verd is a very good friend of mine. He and I do a lot of team building together, both for PMC and for other leagues. He helps me out with UBC sometimes. I help him out with GPC and some other things that he's in. So he and I are kind of familiar with how we both like to think and how we like to play, how we like to prep. He's very talented. He was the winner of UBC season number 1 and has done very well in a variety of other leagues, made it to playoffs of PMC season number 1. Is a playoff contender in a couple different leagues of the Orange League, or a couple different seasons of the Orange League. He also was the runner-up in the SummerSlam tournament hosted by Token Minorities. I guess, to be fair, Trev was the one who got to who won the final 2 matches before the championship, but Verd was the one who drafted the team. He got his way through the bracket rounds and the pool rounds and everything like that. So anyway, he's very talented, very good friend. I'm really nervous for this match, but I'm also really excited because Verd and I have never battled straight up before. We almost did in UBC season 2, yeah, but he kind of dropped out of that league. So anyway, let's look at his squad, and we'll jump into my team right afterwards. We are facing down a team of Florges, Cresselia, Tangrowth, Hitmontop, Nidoqueen, Skarmory, Gengar, Lantern, Tyrantrum, Absol, and Pyroar. So huge threats on his side, both offensively and defensively. His big offensive threats to me are Absol and Gengar. Gengar is so scary. If my Torn gets weakened, then I pretty much get 6-0'd by Gengar, which is not good, obviously. And Absol also has the potential to do some work if my Steelix goes down and I can't get Breloom in. Defensively, Cresselia is so annoying, as I'm sure most people know. He just has a ridiculous core, like Florges, Cresselia, Skarmory. That's nuts. And then he also has Tangrowth and Lantern, which are really frustrating. And Nidoqueen is just all around so bulky and hard to deal with. Tyrantrum also can be really threatening to my team if I lose Steelix and Breloom. It's just very solid. But we've done the best that we can, and we'll just hop right on into it and see what you guys think. So first off, we have our Amaterasu, Volcarona, with Fiery Dance, Bug Buzz, Psychic, and Substitute. We have enough speed on this thing to outspeed a timid Nidoqueen. He doesn't really have a lot in between speed tier 100 and he has what am I trying to say? He's got Nidoqueen at 76, and then he has Cresselia at 85, but I don't really count that. He's not going to go max speed on Cresselia. He does like to invest in his Cresselias, but I don't think he's going to invest that much. Doesn't have anything to really outspeed, But then, other than that, he has Pyroar at 106. So anyway, I don't think we need a ton of speed investment. We need just enough. Volcarona has a really good matchup here, because it tears through his defensive core. Florges can't really do anything to us. Cresselia can't do anything, or it can do stuff to us, but it's threatened by Bug Buzz. Tangrowth is threatened by Fire Move and Bug Buzz. Skarmory is threatened by Fire Move. What was the other one? That Nidoqueen can be kind of a problem because it can tank a Psychic and go for Rock Slide and Retaliation. And Lantern also can kind of check this, but if here's Giga Drain, we're not packing it because Bug Buzz still kind of does a lot. But anyway, we're not actually bringing Quiver Dance. I think Quiver Dance would certainly be good, but I don't think I need it. This thing just does enough damage on its own. Fiery Dance is there to give us boosts in case we need it. And also do damage at the same time. And Substitute, is kind of just like a fourth move. I could have kept Giga Drain on instead of Substitute. but I like the idea of trying to use Substitute while I'm facing down like a Tangrowth or a Florges or like a weakened Cresselia, while I'm staring down a Skarmory. Well, I don't know, like he might leave some of those Mons in just because like if he lets this thing get to +1, he's gonna lose. But yeah, this is the main win con, and the more that I can get this thing in, the better off I'm gonna be. So to help bring it in, we have Assault Vest Tornadus, fully physically offensive with knockoff, U-turn, Iron Tail, and superpower. Rocking the Assault Vest. This is the best thing I have to deal with Gengar, and Verd knows this. In fact, he told me as such. He said, hey, Gengar is not that big of a problem for your team. You have Assault Vest Tornadus. So I'm expecting him to expect this, which makes it kind of tough, like what am I really supposed to do? I think if he were to run something like Icy Wind on his Gengar, that would be really good for him. Like the combination of Icy Wind and Thunderbolt, I think has, it can do a lot, but I don't think it can OHKO me if I'm full. If rocks are up, it's a different story. But I'm going to be needing to keep rocks off the field pretty badly. So that's why we, as you can see, we do have a spinner on our team later on down the roster here. But yeah, if he goes for Icy Wind, then I'm just, like, I'm really pretty devastated by that. But I don't have another switch in. I could have brought, like, Assault Vest, Spirit Tomb, or something like that, but it still takes a ton from Shadow Ball. So it just wasn't worth it. But yeah, that's the only thing that I really need Torn to do this week. It can also... No, it can't even really take on stuff like Nidoqueen. Like, it can knock off a Life Orb, which would be nice, but Nidoqueen can smack it with a really powerful Ice Beam. I guess on the bright side, Pokemon like Cresselia and Florges can't do a lot to this thing. If Cresselia's packing T-Wave, that's going to be really awful. But we're going to have to deal with that when the time comes. But yeah, so that's the Tenzin this week. Our other pivot momentum mon is Nicola, the Electros. This is also fully physically offensive with Thunder Punch, Aqua Tail, Super Fang, and U-turn. Knockoff was really tempting instead of Super Fang, but I thought the Super Fang would be nice for stuff like Cresselia and Florges that are just like really bulky and hard to do anything against. Same for Tangrowth, same for Skarmory. Like if Skarmory's a little bit weakened, we hit it up with a Super Fang, and then we follow up with a Thunder Punch. We can do good damage to it. I should try and see, actually, how much more speed do I need in order to speed creep the Skarmory. Let's see. It hits, let's put it at level 50. It gets to 90, so it's 90 if it's uninvested. So how much do I need? Kind of a lot, probably. I need that much? Is that worth it, is the question. Because, and he also might speed creep my speed creep. Like that. I'm gonna do it. Or I might not. We'll see. I'm gonna keep this spread for the moment. Just because it would be nice to be able to outspeed that thing so he can't just roost up on me for eternity. And actually that's really important because he can roost up on my Thunder Punch and he won't have the flying typing anymore, and the Thunder Punch won't actually do that much damage. So yeah, we are going to stick with this. I still want the Assault Vest, though. Assault Vest is just going to make it better for dealing with Nidoqueen, dealing with, again, Florges, Cresselia, etc. And also his U-turn. So, if he wants to try and bring in Nidoqueen, on my expected Volt Switch or whatever, I'll just U-turn on out of there, go into most likely Volcarona, as long as rocks aren't up, and threaten that thing out. Or I could go into another Mon, I could go into Tentacruel or something. So yeah. Next up we have a Mega Steelix with a pretty cool set, Rest Talk, Curse, Heavy Slam. So it's a Curselix instead of a Curselax, I guess. I wanted to bring Stealth Rock on this thing, but I was talking about it with my good buddy Jack, and Steelix Steelix is under a lot of pressure this week. It has to check Tyrantrum, it has to check Absol. It also can check Pokemon like Florges, it can check Cresselia. But because I don't have any recovery on this thing, and I don't have any Wish Passers or Healing Wishmons on my team this week, rest seemed important. And, you know, I would have liked to put Earthquake on this thing, but he has a bunch of Levitators, and he has Skarmory, which is immune to it. So even though he's got a bunch of ground weak mons, it doesn't make that big of a difference. So yeah, the rest is there for the longevity. Sleep Talk is there, you know, just so, you know, we can actually do something while we're sleeping. I don't have a way to heal up my sleep condition. And Curse is there just kind of to be cheeky. I don't think this is necessarily a win con unless we're able to get rid of Pyroar, get rid of Nidoqueen, get rid of Lantern. Get rid of Gengar too, because Gengar can run Focus Blast. But it's, you know, I didn't want to put any other move there. And Curse is also nice because we can set up alongside things like Tyrantrum. And we do take a Earthquake. I don't think we even get 2-hit KO'd by it. Let me do a quick calc while I'm thinking about it, because I know I looked at it earlier, but I don't remember which set I was looking at. Let's look at if it's +1. It's a 76% chance to 2-hit KO. I could put more defense in this thing, potentially, but this spread takes equal damage from an Absol Superpower and an Absol Fire Blast, uninvested Fire Blast. That's the other reason I wanted to rest, because he could try to beat this thing with something like Will-O-Wisp Absol. Like, Absol still doesn't really want to take a hit from a burned Steelix, but it would be a pretty cheeky tech. So that's the thought behind Rest Sleep Talk here on the Steelix. Next up we have Sugar Berry Tentacruel with Rapid Spin, Scald, Toxic, and Sludge Bomb. I'm going to make one final move here too. I'm going to make this max attack. Because there's not really, like, I'd rather have a little bit more attack than a little bit more defense here. The only thing I really need Tentacruel for is to spin. If it doesn't do anything else other than that, I'll be pretty happy. But if it is able to do more than that, I would expect that it can do things like check Florges, land a Toxic on, I don't know, Tangrowth, Cresselia, things like that, maybe a Lantern, things like that. But yeah, this is really, I just need it for the Rapid Spin. It'd be nice too if I can catch like a Nidoqueen off guard. I do have enough speed on this to outspeed the timid Nidoqueen. One thing that would be really scary is if he runs Scarf Nidoqueen. He has done that in the past. But if he does, I have Nicola and I have Tornadus that can kind of take that thing on. But yeah, that's all I need Tentacruel to do this week. And the Sugar Berry is, yeah, just in case we can get into a situation where we can catch a Nidoqueen off guard. Then last but not least, we have Shrew Manchu coming back after sitting on the bench for 2 weeks. With a pretty cool set, I would say. Substitute, Bullet Punch, Mach Punch, and Fling with a Fist Plate. Fist Plate makes Fling a 90 base power move. And the reason that Fling is really cool is because Gengar is normally a really, really good switch into this thing. So we can bring in the Breloom on the likes of Lantern, Tyrantrum, Absol, Pyroar, and we can hopefully scare them out with the threat of a Mach Punch. Like an Adamant Life Orb Mach Punch is just so scary to all of those mons. So we can go for a sub on the predicted switch out. Gengar is a very likely switch in because I can't think of a single move that Breloom gets that would really deal with Gengar. Like, we don't get a Psychic move that I can see. And we don't get a Dark move that I can see. Snatch, that doesn't really count. So that's why we have Fling, because that's the best Dark type move that we have. I almost ran Sub-Focus Punch, but I thought Fling would be cooler. But yeah, then Mach Punch again for to apply pressure to Tyrantrum, Absol, Pyroar. I'm kind of scared of something like Choppleberry, Tyrantrum, but we're gonna have to. I don't know. We don't really have any other options. We're gonna have to try and deal with that as it comes. And then Bullet Seed is just nice for Lantern, and also it does good damage to Nidoqueen, does good damage to Florges, does a little bit of damage to Cresselia. So yeah, I almost had different Pokemon here. I had Sylveon on the team for a long time, but I needed a little bit more offense, I thought. I was running a defensive Sylveon, I should say. And this just seemed like a cool set to use. So that's why we have it. And that is going to be the team, you guys. So again, I'm really looking forward to this match. I'm really nervous, but I know it's going to be a lot of fun. There is a lot of pressure to win this week because Verd is a divisional opponent. He is in first place. And if we lose, the road does not get any easier from here. We face J-Specs next week and then D-Pad the week after that. And I can't remember precisely who comes even more after that. So we need to keep our, I wouldn't quite call it a winning streak. I guess it is a winning streak. We're on a 2-game winning streak. We need to keep the streak going to, I don't know, not pad the lead because we don't have a lead, but because we're not likely to get a lot of wins later on, we need to get as many as we can right now while things are still feeling good. So that's the plan. So the battle is going to be going up tomorrow. Of course, please make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you go check out the Verd and subscribe to his channel and check out his side of the battle. And yeah, that'll do it for me. Make sure you check back for more Pokemon content. And until the next time, I will see you guys later.